Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here, and hope you enjoyed that video, focusing on our priorities. A year ago, Donald Trump stood before the American public, and he promised to make life more affordable. He promised to cut energy costs in half. He promised to bring down prices, relief to working families. Instead, Virginia voters made clear at the last election that Virginians are being crushed. They're being crushed by cost. First of all, tariffs is a big cause of this, right? The signature policy claimed it wouldn't cost Virginians a dime. The average Virginia family has already paid $1,200 in tariff costs, and at these current levels, that number will hit $2,100 to $2,300 a year that Virginians are going to have to pay because of tariffs. Virginia as a whole is going to lose about $2.1 billion because of that. And these aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. Coffee's up 50%, baby accessories up 24%, fresh produce in Mexico and Costa Rica costs more every week, and groceries overall are up 2.7%. Virginia families are spending about $128 more a month right now on food than they did before Trump was elected. Restaurant owners all across the state, from Virginia Beach, Roanoke to Roanoke, are telling you that they're raising their menu prices. Medical supplies cost more, fertilizer, machinery costs more, construction costs more, everything costs more because of what this administration in D.C. is doing. Electric bills in Virginia are up 13% since Trump took office. The average American family right here in Virginia is paying $100 more per year for electricity because of what the federal government's doing. And that's on top of natural gas costs up 22%. Because the administration is prioritizing pumping natural gas and sending it overseas instead of here. Across America, 1 in 6 households, now 21 million families, are now behind on their energy bills. These are real things that are happening here on the ground in Virginia. That's why voters spoke. And I just want to also point out, Trump is making it worse here in Virginia by blocking the Dominion offshore wind project. As soon as we turn that thing on, Virginians are going to stop paying for fuel costs instead of funding the project, which isn't generating any electricity right now. This administration is causing Virginians real costs right at home right now, real damage. And today we found solar and wind are some of the cheapest ways to generate electricity. So the other thing I want to talk about is affordable housing. Affordable housing is become a real crisis. In 2010, the average age of a home buyer in America was 39 years old. Today it's 59. That's right, in 15 years, we've added 20 years to the typical age someone can afford to buy a home. The National Association of Realtors was so stunned by this, they literally changed the front cover of their annual report. They plan to use a picture of a young expecting couple. Instead, they put on there an older couple nearing retirement, because that's the reality of who buys homes today. First-time buyers, the median age hit an all-time high of 40 years. First-time buyers now only represent 21% of the housing market. And entire generations of Virginians are being priced out of the American dream of buying a home. Tariffs are adding between $7,500 to $11,000 of the cost of building a single home. And other analyses show the costs are increasing by between $4,000 and $11,000. And for every $1,000 increase in home price, more than 100,000 potential buyers are out of the market. So that matters in Virginia for unique ways. In addition to with the crisis that the federal government, or the Doge and Trump has caused on our federal government, the amount of federal workers that have been fired, a huge number of our workforce, it's causing a crisis of confidence in our state. And voters have noticed, and that's exactly why Democrats were swept into that massive House majority you saw last year, and why Abigail Spanberger, Ghazal Hashmi, and Jay Jones won by the margins that they did. And this isn't complicated. Virginians are looking for us to deliver solutions on affordability. That's why this session you're going to see bills increase our minimum wage to $15 an hour. You're going to see paid family medical leave. You're going to see us pass collective bargaining protections for the 700,000 Virginians that are either state or local government workers that don't have the benefit of collective bargaining right now to work on their wages and benefits. You're going to see a bunch of bills to work on affordable housing so we can build more houses in the state, to make housing easier to find and obtain, to rent. You're going to see bills to build more solar in this state. So people can build their own solar more quickly, more cheaply, in more places. You're going to see bills to build solar in not just the rural parts of Virginia, but in the dense urban parts of Virginia on rooftops and parking lots and other places like that. We're also going to make a big effort to fund transit more so that people can get to work cheaply and quickly instead of having to rely on a car every day. The truth is, President Trump's policies have failed Virginia. The question now is whether we're going to let that happen, whether we're going to do something about it. And this caucus stands ready to take action, and you're going to see it this session. Now I'm happy to turn it over to our President Pro Tem, Senator Louise Lucas.